gonna do a live journal with me just to sort of take advantage of the seasonal energy, the full moon energy, our own internal energy. So we're going to hydrate a little bit, but so this journal with me is for this full snow moon, which is the last full moon of the winter. How many folks are ready for winter to be over, or rather ready for spring to be underway? So if you find yourself a little weary of the darkness, the days are starting to get longer, if you find yourself buzzing with creative energy, things are starting to be ready for the blooms of late spring. So before that, all the seedlings have to get in, and everything melts, and there's more rain, and it seems a little dreary, and the weather goes back and forth. But that's just like us. When we're getting ready to go into something new, we go back and forth. Is it time? Is it not time? Should we do it? Should we not do it? Should the motorcycles go by quickly or not? If you can hear that in the background. But for those of you that are interested, the journal page that we'll be working with today after the meditation is available in the link in the bio on the @honeycomb Instagram page. And it is, if you go to the link in bio, you can subscribe to the moon letter, which comes out most every new moon. You can subscribe to the Spotify playlists that are just curated playlists that vibe with each of the moon transits from new moon to full moon. And right now it's the full snow moon, like I said, the last full moon in winter. And in a few weeks, you can check back there. If you subscribe to the moon letter, you will get the new worm moon playlist in a few weeks when that new moon is upon us. But right now we're working in the fullness of the energy, the fullness of the season of winter. It has come to its fullness, and we can begin to see it transition as we begin to awaken slowly from our winter rest. Whether that meant sleep, whether that meant taking things slowly, whether that meant, still wrapping up, connecting with loved ones and getting them gifts and spending time with them, presencing with them. This season can seem a little, it's not just the weather that's going back and forth. Like I said, we go back and forth. And so knowing what's calling to you in the new season that's ahead of you, and knowing what no longer feels good for you as you begin to awaken to the newness and leave all of the things from the previous season behind. This journal sheet that you can access with the link in bio, and then you can either print it off, you can download it, and then upload it this page into GoodNotes. And so how I'll be working with this journal page after we finish our meditation is I will be working with it in GoodNotes. And so you can print it off, you can be a little eco or tech savvy and add it to, download it and then add it to your GoodNotes or Procreate, whatever you're using to digitally journal, and work with it and write with it in there. So I just uploaded it to GoodNotes. So now that it is prepared, let's just start with a little meditation, a little grounding. So this journal is about, this journal page is titled Say My Name. And the whole idea is, how many of you love the yumminess of gently waking up? So whether it's a beloved auntie or mother, a beloved uncle or father figure, a beloved partner that wakes you up gently, whether it's with the gentle smell of tea or food cooking, whether it's the gentle hug or warmth or pressure of them jumping into the bed or crawling into the bed next to you. My little one wakes me up so gently, kind of gently for an 8-year-old, by climbing in bed and climbing over me so I can begin to feel the pressure of his body even before I open my eyes to the light. And I also wake him up gently. So since he was a baby, he did not like to wake up. He didn't like to wake up to eat. We used to have to strip him all the way down and try to get him to wake up just for him to eat when he was a baby. And so now to this day, I still start by whispering a song in his ear, and then slowly sort of sing-songy whispering in his ear his name and asking him if he's ready to wake up, if he's ready for breakfast, if he's ready for the day, those sort of things. And so when I was thinking about the transition of seasons, and for me in my own life, I have a number of projects that will be starting, a number of new contracts, a number of shifts in my work from 2023 into 2024 that aren't really, they're going to start taking off in the next month. And when I think about the gift of getting to ease into the year, and the gift of gently awakening to the new things in our life, it is such a gift, because how many of us have had those sharp, stark turns, like life-changing, hold on. Many of us have experienced that sharp turn, or sharp change or sudden change. And as much as I love being strong enough and resilient enough to have made it through those times, I also genuinely appreciate a gentle awakening and a gentle transition. And so cultivating that in this season, listening for those things that are sweetly and gently calling your name and asking you to come towards them in this new year. In this new season, we're getting ready to be in spring. So all of the things that you dreamed of in your slumber, if you follow me on TikTok or here on Instagram, or for my short form meditations, or on YouTube for my longer form meditations, you know that I have befriended procrastination and think of it as the place that invites us into our deepest dreams and our deepest desires, so that those of us who have had a tendency to have big sudden changes in our lives that aren't always aligned can lean into slowness and the idea of waiting for things to be fully aligned. And so I've realized that part of that is the sweetness of knowing what's really calling you, what is really aligned and attuned to you and calling you by a name that you know it's for you, right? A lot of times we're like, well, I know I'm in transition and there's so many options, and how do I know which one is right? Many of you may have heard of the ideas of purpose and calling, and it's like, well, how do I know if something's calling me? You know when someone's calling your name, right? You recognize it. There's something in it, particularly when it's something that's for you, someone that's for you. So that's what this journal sheet is about, Say My Name. So let's drop into meditation before we go through this journal sheet. Well, we'll be writing down some of the names that make us feel yummy in this world, that make us feel loved, make us feel like people are with us, invites us into the experience of presence and witness. And so let's begin with a short meditation. So just noticing your body, just sort of dropping into your seat, however and wherever you are, and placing your one hand over your heart space and one hand just underneath your belly button. Maybe your thumb sort of grazes your belly button, but that big fleshy part of your belly. And just take a deep breath in and out. And breathe in and out. And just as you settle into this space, noticing your breath, noticing its quickness, its depth, letting go of the sights and the sounds around you, dropping your gaze or closing your eyes, and just paying attention to your breath. And as you breathe, bringing your memories and the thoughts in your mind to a time and a place where you felt beloved, or a time and a place where you were amongst your beloveds. Remembering that time where you may have wandered off walking a little ways from them in the park or in the store, maybe on the beach. Maybe you're in a home that belongs to one of your beloveds and you're in another room. And you hear them call your name. Maybe it's time to eat, or maybe they found a shirt in the aisles of the thrift store that they believe just is really you, make you smile. Maybe in the bookstore they found a book that you would love. Maybe you're driving with your beloveds and there's something that has caught their attention that they believe you would want to see, and they call your name. And breathing in that moment of being called by those who love you, those that you love. And as you breathe in deeply, filling your belly with air, holding it for just a second, and then slowly exhaling. And on your next inhale, bringing into your remembrance a time when you felt really powerful. Maybe it was a moment where you feel like you really were strong. Maybe a boss moment where you had a really good idea and people recognized it. Or maybe a moment when you finished something that you'd been working really hard on. You're all by yourself, but you know you've finally done it. You figured it out. You've gotten it done. And as you attach it to the email and you sign off, or as the folks in the room or on the conference call really appreciate the contribution that you've made, and they call your name with gratitude and appreciation, respect and admiration. You hear, way to go. And they're talking to you. They've called your name. Your name is on the plaque. Your name is on the report. Your name is on the winning pitch. And as you breathe in that sense of accomplishment, filling your chest, your ribs, your belly with air, and then slowly exhaling. And on your next inhale, you just remember a time of contentment. Maybe you were driving, maybe you were in the grocery store, maybe you were in the bathroom brushing your teeth, or just in the kitchen. Maybe you were sitting on a park bench outside. Maybe you were sitting in your car in the carpool line waiting for your kid. But you were just somewhere, and all of a sudden, a sense of contentment and gratitude and alignment just overwhelmed you. You just felt as if you were where you were supposed to be, doing what you were supposed to do, with who you were supposed to be with. In the sense of contentment and wholeness, though sometimes may feel fleeting, in that moment it was overwhelming. It enveloped you from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. That sense of wholeness and contentment. You knew who you were and why you were. And you breathed in deeply, taking in that moment of contentment, that feeling of wholeness, filling your belly with air, holding it for just a moment. And then exhale. And on your next inhale, remembering a moment where you were super grateful for the decision that you made. You may have agonized over it. It may have been hard. You may have had support, or others may have wondered if it was the right thing to do, but you knew. And then the months or the days or the hours or the years came later, and it was the right thing. It was the wise thing. And you knew that you had made this decision, and you were grateful that you had the wisdom and the strength to do it. In that moment where you felt wise, where you felt grateful, where you knew you were standing in your truth. What did you call yourself? What was the name on the letter or the email or the contract? When you felt wise, who do you know yourself to be in your moments of wisdom? And as you breathe in that moment of appreciation for yourself, your integrity and your wisdom, breathe in deeply. Hold it for just a moment for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale. And as you notice your breath, and your mind swirls with all the names you've been called, what your beloveds call you, what your friends and peers and colleagues who respect you and have been inspired by you call you, what you call yourself in your deepest moments of strength and contentment and wholeness and wisdom. What those things that are truly yours in this next season will call from within you. Take a deep breath in and slowly exhale. bring your palms together, slowly rubbing them. Hello to those of you that have joined us. Let that heat press it into your body and into your cheeks, and on the sides of your head, hugging your crown chakra, opening your heart, dropping your arms. So hopefully in that meditation and that time with yourself, you recalled some of the wonderful names that you have called yourself, that you've been referred to in some of the most aligned and attuned moments that you've experienced with your beloveds, with colleagues, with yourself. And so for this full moon, this last full moon in winter, we're going to work with this journal sheet. It's in my link in my bio. It's free. You can download it. You can print it. You can work with it later. But come back to this meditation, or just sit with the idea, with the prompts on the journal page, and just recall the names that you have that let you know when you hear them that you are in the right place, that you are with the right people, that you are attuned and aligned. This last full moon of the winter season, as we head into spring, there's so much that will be calling us, so many new things that will be blossoming and blooming all around us. And we want to not do too much. We want to gently awake to what is aligned for us. So there's this journal sheet that you can work with, that I've offered to you all in this season to work with this new moon energy, this full moon energy between now and the new moon, which will be the new moon that takes us into spring. So I'm so glad you were with me today. I'm so glad that you're gently awakening to the spring, not moving too fast, not moving too slow, but just taking in these last moments of darkness and slumber, and letting things gently call you into the new season. Like I said, so many of us have had twists and turns and new opportunities drop down, and we've got to take them and seize the moment. But in this season, I wonder if we might take a hint from Mother Nature, take a little time to go back and forth, to savor the lingering darkness before we get into the long days, our longer days of spring. Let the things that are going to bloom in your life in this next season gently call you forward and gently spring forth. So this Say My Name will help you figure out what's really calling you, help you remember what really feels good when it calls you, so that this next season of opportunity and abundance can be aligned and attuned and feel just right for you. I love y'all so much. Thank you for joining me. Talk to you soon.